Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump and today I'll be reviewing Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Nintendo Switch, which was released back on towards the February of this year. Now, this game has recently just come out, so I'm gonna try and avoid speaking about spoilers for Bowser's Fury in this review. Now, I've already reviewed Mario 3D World before on the channel, so when I do talk about Mario 3D World, I'm only going to talk about some of the improvements this has over the original that was released back for the Wii U. So yeah, so this first part I'm just mainly going to be talking about Bowser's Fury. Then I'm going to be talking about Mario 3D World. So the main plot of Bowser's Fury is that Bowser has gone sort of has gone on a rampage, and it's up to both Mario and Bowser Jr. to sort of stop him from going on this big rampage. And they basically go through this giant world and collecting these things called cat shines, and that's basically the whole game. And you have to use these giant bell things that are one of the ways to stop Bowser. And for this plot, I think it's a good plot. I feel like this is like one of the few plots where I feel like where Mario and like one of his enemies have actually joined up together in a Mario game, because I don't think Mario and Bowser have never done this sort of thing before, because it's normally, oh, Bowser's kidnapped Princess Peach and it's up to like Mario to stop him. But with this plot, with like Bowser Jr. and Mario teaming up, this is like one of the few things where the main hero and their enemy have actually teamed up to stop an actual threat. In this case being Bowser. Now, in the trailers and also in the game, we see that Bowser has turned into a giant. Like, if you see him in like previous games like Galaxy 2, maybe Mario 64, because he was a bit big then in terms of height. Those games, and even in Mario Sunshine, we see a giant Bowser in that game. All those games have us see Bowser being a giant, like a giant turtle thing. But in Bowser's Fury, he probably makes them feel like ants in comparison, because Bowser in this game has become Fury Bowser. And I really like the design of Fury Bowser, because his design is basically this giant ink version of Bowser. I think it's ink. I'm not too sure. It could be ink, it could be paint, it could be some kind of magic thing. I'm not too sure. And it's got like, glowing eyebrows in his hair, and he's got like, big breath of fire. And once people saw this, they started calling him Godslayer Bowser, which I feel like is a better title for Fury Bowser, because he's just so big, and it looks like a Godslayer. And yeah, it's like this. I feel like tramples all of the Bowsers to shame in terms of their like height, because this is like probably the giant or the largest form that Bowser has ever taken throughout his times in the Mario games, whenever he's like in space, or when he's in the Mushroom Kingdom, or whenever he's on the moon or whatever. This Fury Bowser is just a giant. He's like several stories high, and that feels intimidating. And in this game, you do see him from time to time, because he's like in the middle of the map, and he's in the shell, and whenever he does appear, he spews out fire, and he also uses these sort of giant spiked platform thingies, so that he can crush Mario with them. And yeah, and he appears every now and again, like I would say every 5 minutes, roughly 5 minutes, 3 minutes, roughly, because every time we get a cat shine, or after an extended period of time, Bowser does go back into his shell, and then it might take like another 3 to 5 minutes until he comes back again. And then the only way to probably stop him is to collect enough cat shines to activate these giant cat bell things that are scattered around the world, and you need a certain amount of them to activate these cat shines, the giant cat bells. And I feel that that's like, a really interesting idea, because it kind of like feels like how Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 did it, because like with those games you needed like a certain amount of stars to get to the next area. So let's say, for example, in Mario Galaxy 1, if you wanted to get to like the boss in the terrace, like the first boss fight, I think you needed like 8 or so stars to get to that boss, so you can get to the next area. And then with like Galaxy 2, you needed like 7 stars to get to the second half of the map or something. So yeah, I feel like this is a good sort of way to like bring in new fans and see how basically to draw them in and say like, oh, this is you've got like, a cool fun game like that being with Mario 3D World, but then you've also got this sort of separate story of itself, with that being Bowser's Fury. And I'm going to be showing you some gameplay of Bowser's Fury. Now, the main title screen for Bowser's Fury and Super Mario 3D World are kind of like, half and half. So like, if you go to Mario 3D World, they'll take up half the screen, and if you get to Bowser's Fury, that'll take up half the screen. Now, what I like about this is that each game has their own multiplayer functions. So with Mario 3D World, you can have up to 4 players. So one player can be Mario, one player can be Luigi, one player can be Peach, and one player can be Toad. And I feel like, and also for Bowser's Fury, you can only have 2 players, one player being Mario and one player being Bowser Jr. Now, for these games, I feel like the multiplayer system for each of these ones are good in terms of the story, because if you look at Mario 3D World, all 4 of the main characters in that game were brought into the story. So like, how they found the pipe, how they learnt about Bowser taking all the fairy characters, and well, with Bowser's Fury, Mario was brought into the world where Bowser was by Bowser Jr., and they had to team up to stop him. So I'm just gonna show you how just to play the game, because I feel like with Mario 3D World, a lot of people have a sort of like understanding of how that might work, because they might have played like other Mario games before. They might have the running button and stuff like that. But I might show like a bit of gameplay for Mario 3D World, but I'm just gonna mainly focus on Bowser's Fury for now, and then I might move on to Mario 3D World, just so I can have like a good comparison of, oh, this game does this, the other game does this. So yeah. And I do feel like the loading times in Bowser's Fury do take a while. So yeah, that's like my only complaint. So yeah, this game basically has like this big open world sort of thing. So this is what the world looks like, and this thing in the middle is Bowser, and he does come like every few times. So I've got to say that this game is kind of impressive, because you can just, it's like Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, Mario Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2 kind of like combined together, and just and this was like the end result of this game, because you got like, you have to collect all these specific items you can get in the game to get to like the next section, and you have to like also just collect as many as you can to beat the final boss, that sort of thing. And they're all in like different sort of regional areas. So this one is basically your frozen icicle world area, and I feel like, if I remember, this is like your normal type world, where you can just like, where it's like, grass, that sort of thing. And also not only can you find shines on like the main islands, but you can also find them on the water. So if I can find it, there's a shine you can get. I know this. There's a shine you can get if you're on Plessis, if I think I'm saying that right. And it's basically this course thing where you can basically just you have to get to this shine before time runs out, and I think you get 20 seconds of time, so you can like try and get to the end. And I feel like this is a good way of like going of helping you like going to like different areas of the world like quicker, and just like having you explore, and instead of just you just go to this area. So here's here. And you can also ride on like the land. Do you feel like it's a cool thing because you can just? I don't think that's ever happened before in a type of game. In this type of game before, in like Mario Galaxy or Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2 or whatever. So yeah, this is Bowser, and at first he begins like spinning slowly, but then throughout the course of the game, every time he rises up in the air, he gets faster and faster, and then you'll get to see like wind, there's rain, and then he'll kind of like ascend from the sky, and then he'll like start throwing fire at you and that sort of thing. Oh, I don't know, he can get power-ups on land. Oh, and also that reminds me, the power-ups. So for the power-ups, you can get different ones. So you've got the fire flower, the mushroom, the boomerang flower, the cat mushroom, and the tanuki leaf. And you can switch between the different ones. So if I wanted to have the fire flower, I could choose the fire flower. So let's say I wanted to have the fire flower. Then Bowser Jr. will hand me over that specific power-up, and then if let's say I had like another item on, that item will go back to here, to the item power-up selection, so I can choose a different one. So let's say I wanted to choose the boomerang flower. So now I'm Boomerang Mario, and then, yeah. So I've got more power-ups, and I think you can have up to 5 power-ups at a specific time. So I think that's like a good thing, because then you won't be overpowered with power-ups and that sort of stuff. So yeah, so for the main game, it's like every you go to, all you have to do is a specific thing, like getting a specific shine. So let's try and get a shine right now. So let's get one right now. So for this one, it's the blue coins. And okay. So the blue coins one, like in like previous games that have these items, we have to collect them. Okay. So yeah, and there we go. Oh god. And oh no. So that's like one of the missions you can do, and I think I said this before. I'm not too sure, but just in case, I'm just going to say it again. You have to, this is like one of the most repetitive ones in terms of the game, because you have to it's feels so overused in my opinion, because of how much they're used in other games. Oh, and also, Bowser's almost being unleashed. If you can see like the rain is getting faster, so yeah, maybe we can see Bowser, hopefully? Oh, I should probably get these first. Oh, no, So, yeah, where is he? So yeah, that's Fury Bowser in giant form, and yeah, it does look giant compared to his other game versions. Oh god. Yeah. So I feel like that's been it for the main gameplay for Bowser Fury. Now I'm going to show you the gameplay for 3D World. Now for the character selection, you can select different characters. So for this one, I'm just going to go with Luigi. So I feel like Luigi in Mario 3D World is one of my favorite characters to play as. mainly because of his hiding ability. Like he can jump higher than all of the characters. So okay, so I'm gonna show you like some of the gameplay for City Runner, just so I can show you some of the minor improvements for this game that it has over the original. So yeah, so let's try and get an item. Hopefully it's a cat bell. Hopefully, nope. Okay, so I'm going to show you like the running speed. So as you can see here, the running speed is a lot better than it was in the original. I kind of feel like the running is a lot better in this game than it was in the original, because you can just like it's like a really good way of like just getting quicker to like certain areas, like the final flagpole, that sort of thing. And yeah, so like in every other Mario game or Mario games that have there's this sort of thing, you can just collect red coins to get power-ups, that sort of stuff. And also there are some levels that have certain requirements. So for example, there's an auto-scroll level that there is in the game, and that game in the in the level there is a cat switch, and you can only which is green star, if I remember, and you can only get to that level, by that part of the level, if you have the cat power up. So if you have like a cat power up stored away, I highly suggest getting the green stars, because they are kind of necessary for the later game, because there's a bit in that in the game that has to have you require getting every single like green star, every single star, every single top of the flagpole, and every single stamp. So this is one of the secret bonus levels you can do. If I can. No, so you have a certain amount of time to get those green stars. When for some of the levels that do have the purple boxes in it, so I hate just getting them like as soon as you can. Otherwise, you will have to start the entire level again if you want to get like all the stars and stuff like that. Then also throughout the level you can find stamps, which you can use like for snapshot mode. Oh, I should probably go. Oh no, okay. And again, like the green stars, you have, if you miss like the stamps, you just have to redo this game again if you want to get like everything, and you want to 100% of the game. So yeah. So that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. So my only problem with Bowser's Fury is that it's like the whole world is basically the same, except after a while you do get to access more of it. And I feel like that's probably one of the what makes the game, on the. I mean, it's a good game, Bowser's Fury, but I feel like it's on. I feel like it's just. It's not. To me, it's not like. Because like if you look at other games in the Mario series, like Mario Galaxy, Galaxy 1, Mario 3D World, those kinds of games, you get to explore different worlds and different galaxies, and you get to see like, oh, in this section of Mario Galaxy, you are in the terrace, and you get to see all of these galaxies. But then later on, you get to go to the library, not the library, the bedroom, and you get to see new galaxies. And I feel like for those games, it fits the games well. It fits for Bowser's Fury, like having one big world. But to me, I think it's because a lot of the missions that you do feel repetitive, because there are some of them that might be new, like, oh, you have to let's say collect, let's say different things, or find or basically do this short course where you have to collect the shine. But then you've got other ones where you have to like beat a particular enemy, like a big bully or Boom Boom. But then you've got other ones that are repetitive, like the blue coins. And I feel like with the ones that with the blue coins and the big bullies and Boom Boom, those to me feel repetitive because I think it's because I've played similar missions to those ones in previous Mario games. So the blue coins kind of remind me of the Silver Stars and the Galaxy games. Boom Boom from Mario 3D World, Mario 3D Land, Mario Bros. For the Wii U, those games. And for the bullies, again, 3D World, 3D Land, and also Mario 64. And I feel like there could have been a few different missions that could have like taken those places with the blue coins and stuff, instead of just bring back the blue coins, bring back Boom Boom, bring back the big bullies. Because I feel like I'm not saying I feel like it just felt repetitive to me, and I feel like there should be new and interesting ideas that should be brought into these kinds of games. Like, we've got a mission with this, a mission to do that, a mission to do all of these cool things. That I feel like there should be more ideas instead of just having some new missions, but then also bring back some old ideas but with a new coat of paint, if you know what I mean. So I kind of wish there would be some new missions instead of just being new mission, repetitive old mission from an old Mario game, that sort of thing. So I kind of be like, all the new missions would just be new missions instead of just having new missions and then having some old ideas be brought back. So yeah, that's kind of my idea if I was making Bowser's Fury. So yeah, and now I'm going to be talking about some of the similarities and differences between 3D World for the Switch version and the Wii U version. So, like in all ports of different games, whether it's 3D World, The Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, the graphics are always improved, and that's the same for 3D World, because I feel like the graphics in this game are a lot better than they are in 3D World. And I think that's really cool, because we can now see 3D World in a more HD version. Another thing that's been improved is that the running for all the characters have been improved significantly, because in the original game, all the characters will just run at a normal pace, and the only sort of fast character in that game was Toad, because he was the fastest runner out of all of the characters. But now with the additional running speed that you get, I feel like this makes the game a lot better and a lot more fun to play. But this does come at a price, because I feel like the running speed, it feels like a double-edged sword. It's good, but if, let's say, you miss a specific thing, let's say, for example, in one of the levels, let's say you're playing in the Green Star mystery houses, right? And let's say you've managed to beat all the enemies and you've got like 2 seconds left to get the Green Star. And let's say you've managed to run to the Green Star, you jump but then you miss it. I feel like the running is good until like you try and get the thing, because then I feel like the running is sort of like good, but also can be your enemy at times in certain situations, depending on what you're doing in any other levels. That's how I feel like. And also, one of the biggest improvements in the game is that you can play with your friends or play online. And I think that's probably the greatest thing ever, because you can play not only with your family when you're at home, but you can also play like with your friends who might be in London, let's say, and you might be playing with them, let's say, in Luton, while your friends are in London. You can play like online and together and just play the levels together. And I feel like that's really cool and interesting, because there's like not a lot of Mario games, in terms of mainline Mario games, have an online feature. The only ones that might have an online feature are probably Mario Kart, and so I feel like with the added online feature for Mario 3D World for the Switch, I feel like that's a really cool way to play with your friends, like to play a mainline Mario game. And yeah, that might mean that it makes more chaotic levels. Like, you know, let's say if your friends wanted to try and get a specific green star or a stamp, you can basically just, you know, go to the next part of the level, and your friends might not be able to get that stamp or the green star. So I feel like that's like a cool way to like have fun with your friends. Whenever you're in contact with them, like, oh hey, do you want to play some Mario 3D World, and then you're able to play with them in specific levels, that sort of thing. So yeah, and also the stamps actually have a new feature now, because in the original 3D World for the Wii U, you could use the stamps for Miiverse, back when Miiverse was a thing, and before Nintendo closed it down. For that, you could extend it to like the Miiverse and stuff like that. But for now for the stamps, you can use it for the snapshot part of the game. So whenever you're, let's say, not in a level, you can basically go into snapshot mode, and then just like put some stamps in different places, and then you can just take a snapshot. And I feel like the stamps have a much better function in this game than probably in the original. So yeah. And also, there's a new power-up in this game, kind of, in Mario 3D World, and that is the Invincibility cat suit, which is basically the same as the Invincibility Tanuki suit, but with the cat suit, because with this suit, with both suits, it basically means you can go through the level without getting hit. So all enemy attacks will do nothing, and you can just go through enemies as if they were butter. And yeah, I feel like for beginners, you know, that's sort of a nice thing, so that they won't be able to die as many times, or they won't get hit by enemies a bunch of times if they're new to the game. And I feel like this is a good sort of way to help players who may be new to the Mario series, just help them just to get to the end of the level quicker and faster and that sort of thing. So yeah. So my final verdict for Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury is that I think it's an excellent game. I feel like the graphics are much improved than they were in the original. I think the addition of Bowser's Fury is a good sort of add-on to the game, and a good story, so like you can play more of the game and more hours to put into to like 100% complete the game, if that's your thing. So yeah, I enjoy the game. I highly suggest that you buy this game. It's a really incredible game. Whenever I play the 3D mode or 3D World part, it makes me feel like when I was younger, when I was playing 3D World back on the Wii U, back when the Wii U was a thing. So yeah, so I enjoy this game. I highly suggest you buy this game, so you can play it to your heart's content. So that's been my review for Super Mario 3D World. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.